And when you look at 5G, folks, I mean, it's being rolled out this year. You can look it up on any websites and you can see it's being rolled out this year, upgrading to 5th generation communications. And what it's all about, folks, is a completely new type of communication. Self-driving cars, all sorts of stuff can come from the 5G network. So it's being promoted as something that's very, very good. And as you can see, they're trialing it this year. 5G is coming this year, but the first official launches will come in 2018. And it's coming from all directions, folks. Many people are promoting it, and it's being promoted as a very good thing. You know, what is it and when do I get it? You know, the language of a billion things is what it's about. It's about the Internet of Things. That's what 5G is. And if you look at the roadmap, you can see the roadmap here, 2015 to 2022. That's not very far away, folks. They're talking about rolling this out very, very quickly, very soon. And it's all being promoted as something very good for business. But when you really look into it and look at what they're saying, again, it's about the Internet of Things. And what exactly is the Internet of Things? It's about everything talking to everything else. You know, broadband experience everywhere, anytime, smart vehicles, smart transport, smart infrastructure. You know, together we can make it a reality. You know, it's all being promoted as something very, very good. And what will happen in the next 5 years, oh look, you'll be able to download full-length, high-definition movies in seconds. I thought it was illegal to download a movie. But anyway, this is how things are being promoted. This is how it's being promoted to the public. And what it's really all about, folks, is this. This is the important thing. Frequencies that have been used by the military, this is extremely important. You know, it uses a millimeter wave, which can be extremely dangerous to all living things and not just people. You can look at the US non-lethal weapons program, and they talk about active denial systems. This is what 5G is all about. And this active denial grid is being put in all of our countries, all of our towns. This is what they're rolling out, folks. You can look at it here in 2015. US wants spectrum for 5G lethal cyber weapons, right? So it's about mass surveillance and about weaponizing the airwaves. Really, that's what it's heading to. And the studies on it are amazing. There's all sorts of studies, but they're not interested in the studies. That's the thing. This is being rolled out without any studies. They're doing it basically because there's a lot of money involved in rolling it out. Have a listen to what the head of the FCC has to say about 5G and what it's going to do.
Turning innovators loose is far preferable to expecting committees and regulators to define the future. We won't wait for the standards. Verizon and AT&T tell us they'll begin deploying 5G trials in 2017, and the first commercial deployments they're talking about are expected in 2020. And we're not done. If something can be connected, it will be connected. Hundreds of billions of microchips connected in products from pill bottles to plant waterers. We must reject the notion that the 5G future will be the sole provenance of urban areas. The 5G revolution will touch all corners of our country. A lot more antenna siting decisions by local governments and tightened our shot clock for siting application reviews. America's local governments will play an important role in determining how we fulfill this national priority. You can be sure of only one thing. The biggest Internet of Things application has yet to be imagined.
So when you think about all that, folks, that's not a very comforting scenario. It's really not. And when you look at the effects that this has on the immune system, on the heart, on all sorts of things, folks, effects on plant growth. I mean, forget about having organic food once you've got the 5G system installed, because it's going to change all of this food. It's going to change the cell structure of all of this food. Now, the Internet of Things is far more concerning than people might think at first glance, because it isn't just your fridge and your smart toaster and your smart television and your smartphone. It's also your computer, your microphone, your camera on your computer. It's also the surveillance system that we are all installing in our homes by getting these new computer systems. Something else the 5G grid can do is it can see through walls, it can see through houses, it can see what you're carrying along the street, it can see if you're carrying money, it may be able to tell if you're carrying a weapon. And if you are carrying a weapon, it can disable you with a millimeter wave, or it can even perhaps send a signal to a drone and have you targeted from the air. All of this is capable through the 5G system. It's also possible to take control of vehicles with computers in them. It's an all-encompassing system. And this is not just being used for communication. This is being used for surveillance and control. As the man said, no one has yet envisaged the possible applications for this technology. What this whole system is leading towards, folks, is complete digital control of everybody and a merging of human beings with AI. 5G grid is being rolled out and this whole machine society is coming online, and if people don't pay attention, if people continue to use their credit cards, if they continue to use their smartphones, in another 5 to 10 years from now, when all their cash is digitized, all their movements are tracked, all their thoughts are monitored, and everything they do is under surveillance, people are going to look up from their research and go, hang on a minute, how did I end up in this high-tech prison? And at that point, what can anyone do?